Hi, I'm the Paranoid Survivor, and don't forget to aim for the head. Zombies, when you think about it, are the most perfect enemies ever conceived. They're retarded, so excuse the bad AI. They can take loads of hits, cause they're undead. And you can throw in as many of the motherfuckers you want. Also, they're dead, so the player feels no emotion when he kills them. Not that you guys would care who you were killing, but still. In recent memory, zombies have become the go-to staple of games. Don't know what to do? Just make a zombie game. That's always fun. The sad part is, yeah, it is always fun. Even when the game is terrible. Even when you've killed the same enemy for the billionth time, it is still fun. But what about the times when the game's not shit? Sure, it's pretty rare, but we do get those. What about the times when the game actually manages to evoke emotion, spark your interest, or induce a state of shock? These rarities are called, and hopefully I'm pronouncing this right, good zombie games? First of all, let's set some ground rules. This is only my opinion. I'm certain a lot of people will be butthurt at the end of this, but I can't avoid that. And two, it's a zombie game, if I say so, so fuck you. And three, not all of these games are good, cause my opinion is just bad. Now that we got that out of the way, let's venture into the world of video games and dig through the trash to find the gems. This is the top 10 zombie games of all time. Number 10.
What the fuck? Got into you.
Typing of the Dead. As far as dumb fun goes, this series takes the cake. Rare games can make an on-rail shooter experience be fun. I'm looking at you, Rambo. But if one series can pull it off, it's Typing of the Dead, an extremely self-aware and often comical FPS that doesn't use shooting to shoot zombies. Instead, you type it. While this may sound dumb, that's just because it is dumb, but it's also undeniably enjoyable. It features a very arcadey look to it, mostly because it's spawned from the old arcade systems like House of the Dead. Typing to kill zombies may not be as satisfying as placing a bullet in the head yourself, but it's more intense as you wildly scramble to type the increasingly difficult words as fast as you can. It's fast and doesn't waste time, so you'll hardly ever be bored, even when it gets repetitive. Be warned though, this isn't an amazing game, but it's definitely a fun one.
Motherfuckers!
Number 9. Contagion. A game I put on my top 10 favorite post-apocalyptic games of 2013 is still going strong, drawing more people into its multiplayer madness. Being able to cooperatively play with or against friends adds an edge, and the extremely varied randomly generated tasks offer for a very different experience every time, and assure you won't soon get bored by it. Keep in mind, this isn't a perfect game, but an enjoyable one nonetheless. Just make sure to stay away from its single player. Number 8. State of Decay. Another game I put in the video as the third spot. What it lacks in its technicalities, it makes up for in extremely interesting mechanics. It offers a large open world map with tons of content and rewards exploration. It's rough around the edges, yes, but it has everything a zombie game should. Looting, doing side quests, talking to survivors, creating a base, and more. This is perhaps the closest we've come to a legitimate open world zombie experience. While the controls are clunky and it can oftentimes be buggy, it's easy just losing yourself in the sheer amount of possibilities that can come out of the game. Generally speaking, it's fun, varied, and far from boring if you can forgive some of its shortcomings. Number 7. Dead Island. Dead Island was a lot of things. It forced multiplayer down your throat, it had a somewhat awkward combat system, it had a bad main storyline. Wait, why did I put it on here? Well, for the same reason I put State of Decay on. It has a lot of redeeming values. While the main story is piss poor, some of the random side quests you can do actually give you a very dark yet at the same time immersive look into the apocalypse. It doesn't sugarcoat anything. It deals with themes such as rape, bandits, and human psychology. How much can we as a race fail in only a few days? How many bad things can possibly happen? It also had a beautiful mode that is when you weren't in the sewers. You played as one of the few survivors, each having a certain skill they can pull off. The combat was mostly melee, something not usually seen in zombie games. But when it worked, it was fun. Its RPG aspects worked pretty well. Upgrading your weapons and building your character was actually satisfying and truly wasn't a complete flop. Number 6. Dead Rising. Honestly, the series hasn't really aged perfectly, but the first one still stands to be absolutely brilliant. You're Frank West, aka the most badass journalist of all time. You get into a town where, surprise surprise, zombies. Little do the zombies know how fucked they are because Frank really doesn't give a single fuck and decides to use literally anything as a weapon. Anything! As such, it can be really fun to piss around in the game, exploring the shopping mall you're hopelessly trapped in. What sort of ruins the game is the constant timer that doesn't allow you to really get lost in the game, but it does make it more dynamic. It also features a wide array of what the actual fuck and makes you really think your moves out. It's violent, it's gory, and it just pleases me. That came out wrong. Number 5. Resident Evil 4.
But Resident Evil 4 ain't a zombie game, it's actually a parasite called
Fuck off, you mangy prick! Sure, you're not killing zombies, you're just killing people affected by some sort of deformity which makes them feral and leaves them to attack anyone who isn't one of them. Sorry for getting it so confused. While I know Resident Evil 4 technically isn't a zombie game, and the zombies can wield actual weapons, it's also the best in the franchise. It's atmospheric, it has a great narrative, its characters are wonderfully executed, and it truly started the third-person shooter genre the way it was supposed to be started. People actually consider it one of the best games of all time, and some of the disturbing imagery portrayed here will take a long time to sip away from your consciousness. On top of that, it's challenging, but fair. The reason it's so high up on the list is because A, in my opinion, it's a little outdated. However, if you haven't already, it is highly recommended you play it. Number 4. DayZ. A very different kind of MMO, this mod grew to an insane level with millions of people playing it, and while the standalone is still very buggy and almost unplayable right now, the mod is growing strong. It has a variety of maps, both fan-made and official, that are extremely large and easy to lose yourself in. It's also very balanced, letting you gradually progress from the new guy, who everyone kicks around, to a raging badass, and the more north you go. The zombies, in fact, aren't that big of a threat compared to the other humans. The human race. The biggest problem with the game are, again, the technical aspects, such as the stiff controls and weird animations. But in terms of realism, this is unmatched, where every fight can be your last, made even worse because you know that your last fight means your hard-earned items. Sure, it takes time getting used to it, but it's a hell of a lot better than any other MMO right now. Number 3. Left 4 Dead 2. Fuck yeah! This is the peak of co-op zombie killing. Not only is it fun and diverse, but it offers hours of content and never seems to get boring. The new characters that are introduced dynamically bond together and their interaction seamlessly flows. It's a game based off cooperating, and one of the rare games that actually makes you help people. Weird, I know. The objective is simple. Go through the map to the next safe house. Do this 4 times and you're clear. Easier said than done, as the wide variety of special zombies and amazing amount of normal zombies will swarm you. The story is lighthearted and while not the focus, can be pretty enjoyable. The levels culminate perfectly and offer just the right amount of challenge. There's an endless amount of ways to kill the bricks, each one being extraordinarily satisfying. On top of that, it has a community that just keeps making maps for it. Somehow you get bored of the fantastic maps that are already had. In other words, it's enjoyable, balanced, and goddamn fucking amazing. Number 2. The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is a very different franchise. Based on the comic book franchise by the same name, it mostly concentrates on the psychological effects the apocalypse has on us. It delves into some very dark stuff and isn't afraid to kill a character off. It's not about killing zombies, it is in fact mostly about choices and dialogue options. The dialogue itself is sharp and the choices are difficult to make, so seeing it all branch out can be punishingly cruel to watch, yet immersing and unforgettable. Amazing characters litter the game and the narrative is fantastically conceived. The puzzles help add more diversity to the gameplay, and while it may seem bland, honestly, it's the closest representation of the actual apocalypse you can find. And with such an astonishing ending, you'll probably have a hard time sleeping after this one. And the number 1 best zombie game of all time is... The Last of Us.
But The Last of Us actually doesn't have zombies. They're actually called clickers and...
I told you to fuck off, you cunt! Where do I start with this game? Popularly considered the best game of all time, The Last of Us gives both the breathtaking storyline of The Walking Dead and the fun gameplay of Left 4 Dead. It's shocking and unrelenting, but it also gives us beautiful visuals. The character arcs are done perfectly, and their bonding even better, leaving you closely attached to them. The gameplay is diverse, although somewhat repetitive. There are a lot of ways you can go about situations, but it does sort of get a little bland near the end. Nevertheless, you keep gaining weapons in a constant pace, and the environments can offer for a lot of variation. The story is jaw-droppingly good, and the cinematic way the game is presented gives it an almost movie-like quality. The character development is on par with shows such as Breaking Bad, and the voice acting is amazing. All in all, The Last of Us is maybe, just maybe, an apocalypse that is worth reliving. Thanks for watching. I think it will be fair to do some honorable mentions. First of all, the Warzy. No. First of all, any game I mentioned in my top 10 post-apocalyptic games of 2013 is probably worth at least checking out, so you can just click the link below if you want to see that video. Then we have Killing Floor, an extremely fun, ultra-violent game that I sadly didn't put in. It's pretty popular and you can get a cheap copy of it. Stubbs the Zombie, a game that puts you in control of the zombie. It's short, but it's definitely fun and offers quite a bit of variety for a game that's about someone who is a walking corpse. And for you retro junkies, there's always Zombies Ate My Neighbors, an SNES classic where you have to save your neighbors. It offers open world levels and loads of weapons. Finally, I think it would be unfair not to mention Plants vs. Zombies, a game that blew away the audience and can be some pretty strategic fun. Again, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like it, and if you like the apocalypse, zombies, or if you're mentally ill, me, subscribe! I also stream, which is pretty fun and gets fucking insane. You can check that out in the description. I'm not working for Overlord Gaming anymore. Now it's a pixelated view, a site for which I made a video on our video games art. I'll be making more videos for them in the near future, so you guys can subscribe to them in the description. I also did a music video for a friend, which is again post-apocalyptic, and I'm now partnered with TGN, which is pretty cool. Again, thanks for watching, I love you guys, and I'll see y'all later. Survivors, salute.